you've always been into fitness because, Gin's always been talking about, Johnny's doing this. I remember one period there, Gin was telling me that you used to talk about putting your feet on the grass, bare feet on the grass. That process.
The old earthing.
Yeah, earthing. And you're always looking at different things.
Yeah.
Where's that sort of curiosity about, I'm not going to talk about training, there's just general health.
Yeah, I try and keep an open mind on the whole, everything that comes through the industry, like have a crack at it and see what works before I sort of start using it on clients or giving advice on it, that's for sure. So I give it a crack myself and just the whole earthing thing and anything else, like especially for recovery. I'm big on recovery and de-stressing.
What's that mean, de-stressing?
Well, I just noticed that if you're in a stress state, it's really hard to lose body fat and it's really hard to put on lean muscle mass because you're stressed. And training and everything's another stress on the body. So I always look at ways to recover. So I'm looking at like obviously the basic ones is breath work, hot cold immersions, and then earthing and now I'm big on just lying back on your back and just doing 5 or 10 minutes of meditation a day.
It's me. Here's John Gannon talking about meditation a day. But but it's a fair evolution. If I could just go way back though, let me just creep back into this whole process because you just covered a lot of ground then.
Yep.
You said to me, would it be fair to say that you keep up to date with all the latest developments?
Yep.
Through some sort of structure in terms of your own life and research? Like, I mean, what are you accessing? Before Google, before what we're talking about now, what were you accessing, say, 20 years ago?
20 years ago, well, I went over and studied with these guys from the States who taught foundation training. And it's
what is that?
It's a postural sort of awareness movement patterns where you can do it with no equipment. All you're doing is really engaging the back of your body because these guys.
I'm noticing you're doing it now.
Yeah,
you haven't been
I'm trying to sit up
down.
straight.
And you are. But it's a conscious.
It's consciously sitting up and making sure. Because if we sit, imagine you're sitting there looking at your device, you're hunched over, your shoulders round forward, your head migrates forward, and you try and take a big breath in that position. It doesn't happen because your sternum's pushed down into your diaphragm, rib cage doesn't expand properly. But as soon as you sit straight, shoulders back, take a big breath in, you'll access your diaphragm and that nice expansion of the rib cage. So I'm really into teaching people that side of wellness, like not just strength and conditioning and in the gym and bashing yourself up. I'm looking at like the simpler ways for the other 23 hours of the day you're out of the gym, how to teach people how to sit, stand, move, breathe. I'm right into that side of it.
Well, why is it important then, Johnny, for example, to be able to breathe properly from your belly, expanding your diaphragm?
Yeah.
Why is that important?
Well, if you are in that hunched over position and you're taking those little shallow chest breaths, your body recognizes that as a stressed out state. Your heart rate lifts up a little and you're not relaxed. You're in that sort of sympathetic state. When you sit up straight and you access diaphragm and breathe correctly, you go into more of that parasympathetic state and your heart rate will lower. So you're relaxed. You're in a bit more of a relaxed state. And that's when you recover because you're in that parasympathetic state. That's the rest, digest state that we're looking for. And especially if you are stressed, like, there is a lot of stress around at the moment. I don't know if you noticed, like obviously financial stress with interest rates, cost of living.
There's political stress. What's going on in the world?
Political stress, massive one. Like who knows? Like it's war,
totally.
And there's a fair bit of sickness in the community, like influenzas, another big stress on the body. So that's why I'm just noticing with clients and friends and family, just to get down and do 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever time you've got, just to get down and do a bit of breath work, lie down, guided meditation. Like you've got a Headspace app. We've got just YouTube's 20 minutes relax breathing.
Inside timer.
Yeah.
That's another
all
one.
That stuff.
Yeah.
You just get down and just give yourself 15, 20, whatever it is, what time you've got. Just try and get into that parasympathetic state and just, de-stress.
So maybe I'll just get you to explain the difference between the sympathetic state and the parasympathetic state. They're actually are the opposites to what you would expect.
Yeah, they are. Confuses me sometimes.
So the sympathetic state is what?
It's a stressed out state.
So your body is stress.
It's stressed out. Heart rate's elevated.
Cortisol
levels are up.
Yep.
You're shallow upper respiratory breathing. You're not in that relaxed state. So what I try to do is get that people down in the other way, go the other direction, because it's all right to be in that sympathetic state, but not for long periods of time. Like we use it to say for competition. You get into that sympathetic state. Let's go. I'm revved up. Adrenaline's up. But you can't stay at that level for long periods of time because stress is detrimental to your health, like your heart health, your physical health, your mental health. So that's why, especially in the challenges I do, I add a de-stress element to one of the foundations of the challenge.
So now let's just talk about, so I think most people understand what the sympathetic state is, or most people experience that cortisol, adrenaline, short breath, a bit panicky, and it can be anything that sets you off. Probably most people don't realize, as you just explained, that you can put yourself in a position that your body thinks it's in that stressful position, but just through bad posture.
Yep.
Let's talk about then parasympathetic. Parasympathetic is about recovery.
Yep.
And we've never really thought, like most people, especially trainers, never really thought about recovery. All we're thinking about is train, more training.
Yep.
Do some more training. I miss that training. Do another training session. Can I get 2 in for the day? And that's all about stress. That's putting stress on your body.
100%.
Let's give me a little bit of an understanding about this recovery process from your point of view. Like, what are we talking about here? Is let's put meditation aside, like the mental stuff. But what do you mean by recovery?
So, like we just spoke about, like when we're in that stressed out state, it's okay, but you need to come back down into that recovery state, and it really helps with your sleep patterns. Okay, and there's obviously there's different ways to do that. There's hot cold immersions that are really popular at the moment. That's why all those recovery centers are so popular at the moment, which is great. It's a really good form of taking inflammation out of the body, which is another stress. When you're inflamed, you hold on to inflammation. So if you can bring that down, that's massive.
And you do that through a cold bath?
Hot colds. You can do whatever protocol you want. You can do 3 minutes in the cold, 2 minutes in the hot, whatever suits you. I can't tell people that one. Some people just love doing the saunas. Some people just love doing the cold. Some people like doing a bit of both. That's a massive one.
So sort of trying to manage your inflammation.
Because
when we train,
it's inflammation. 100%.
When we've got sore muscles or sore joints.
A bit dehydrated, a bit inflamed. So we're looking at hydrating as well.
So what about hydration then?
Hydration's a massive form of recovery. Okay.
So what are we talking about? So how do I know if I'm not hydrated?
Well, this is sounding like I'm a bit fanatical here, but I get on the scales. I get on the scales a couple of times a day because I know I sit on 92 kilos.
Yep.
If I go for a surf and have a train, I'll come back in at 90 kilos. I know I've got to drink 2 litres of water to get back up. I know I haven't lost two kilos of fat or muscle.
Yeah.
I've lost 2 kilos of fluid. So I'll jump on the scales. I'm 90 kilos. I'll drink a litre of water. I'm back up to 91. I'll drink another litre, and I just try and balance my hydration like that. It's not a bad way to do it. I had a bit of electrolytes in the water, a bit of potassium, magnesium, and salt.
No sugar.
No sugar. I just keep it salty. I have no flavoring at all. Some people love flavoring. I just keep it salty and minerally. And
your body actually, it's funny, I have that just full salt like that too.
Yeah.
And my body, I think initially I go, oh shit, I don't want to drink this because you think you're going to puke. But then your body tells you it likes it.
Yeah.
It likes the saltiness.
You adapt to its goodness. You adapt to it pretty quick.
That's interesting what you just said about you go for a surf. I know if, like when I used to have to cut weight, thank God those days are over. I used to have to cut weight. I know I'd always love it when we had if in the amateurs you weigh in the morning. You've got to weigh in every morning, but you weigh in the morning. And I used to like the weigh in the morning because if I say go to bed at 9 o'clock or whatever, 10 o'clock, then I wake up the next morning at say 6 or 7 o'clock, and let's say you go to the bathroom and do that business.
Yeah.
Just through that night time, you lose a kilo.
Yep.
But just your body's used it up, and you're breathing and you're sweating and stuff like that. You're a bit dehydrated. I haven't lost any muscle or any fat or anything. I mean, it's just lost
Fluid.
Water.
Yeah.
And a litre of water is a kilo. That's the usual general rule.
Straight back on. Exactly.
A litre of water is 1 kilo weight.
Yep.
If you've lost 1 kilo weight after a heavy training session, it's not because you lost a kilo of fat.
100%.
You lost a kilo of water. 100%. And it's not a bad rule.
Yeah.
Which means you've got to replace it. With a kilo of water, with a litre of water.
With a litre of water, because you feel like shit.
Yeah.
You feel like you've run down, you feel fatigued. That dehydration.
You lose lots of clarity.
Yep.
In your brain, because you feel a bit
dehydrated,
buzzed.
You get a bit of a headache. That's the first sign of dehydration.
Because I watch these. I'm watching fighters, boxing matches all the time, and I was watching the other day. I won't say who it is. It's someone well known in Australia. I got a bit disappointed with the corner because I noticed that two things. After about round 5 or 6 in a pro fight with 3-minute rounds, your body temperature goes up to about 40, 41 degrees. Quite dangerous.
Yep.
Like if you were a little kid, every one of your kids, and his temperature is 40, you're off to hospital.
Yeah.
And you're burning a lot of fluid. And I noticed that they weren't putting any ice on his head to cool down his core temperature.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't drinking much water. And I thought to myself, what happens in that situation, especially if you get hit on the chin? Like what happens in that situation? You start to lose clarity and you can't respond to what's in front of you.
Yep.
So you can't make good decisions.
Yep.
So if I just take that and extrapolate that out to someone who's just a normal person out there who doesn't get up in the morning, drink a litre of water as soon as you get up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mean immediately, but start drinking the water. Instead they get up and they drink coffee, dehydrate yourself even more.
100%, it's a diuretic.
So drink some water before you drink coffee. But that person, if they don't, this happens a lot of times, as you know, a lot of people don't drink in water. Then they go to work, they're trying to make decisions, they've had 3 coffees, they wonder why they make mistakes. And that's without any training. Add a bit of exercise in there, they're really dehydrated. So how do you get into your client's head, the ones you train, the ones you look after, how do you get into their head like, come on, you got to change this, because this is a lifestyle change for all these people.
Yep.
I mean, like, drink water. Do you put them on a program?
I don't. What I do is just say constantly have a bottle of water with you. Go and buy a good quality water bottle, good stainless steel one.
Yep.
Carry it around with you.
No plastic?
Times. No plastic.
I'm the same. No plastic.
No plastic. I don't. Even with the BPA-free plastic, I don't trust it, especially if it's in the sun and all that. But
totally.
Buy a good stainless steel water bottle. You can have it until you lose it. I've lost 1 million of them.
Yeah, I've got 1 million more. I've got them all over my house. Those shits because I got so many bottles of it. But
and everyone leaves them at the gym. I've got a collection of them because everyone runs out on a bit of a high out of the gym. They leave their water bottle there. But mate, carry a water bottle with you at all times, and find a good quality electrolyte that you like. That's got the magnesium, the potassium, and the salt in it, because you see people say at the end of a marathon when they lose their coordination and they hit the wall, it's called, that all that is lack of minerals in the body.
So you sweated it out.
You've sweated all the minerals out of your body. So the potassium, magnesium, and salt, if they had the electrical currents that go through your body that connects your brains, the little signals that run through your nervous system, they don't fire
because they need
they need those minerals as a current.
Yeah.
To fire
to conduct.
To conduct.
Yeah.
And they've gone. It's depleted. So that's why they've just turned into jellyfish. They can't stand up. That's exactly why we need to stay hydrated. And that's an extreme.
That's an extreme version, but it doesn't matter. It does affect people.
Yeah.
I mean, old school guys, like, mate, I tell you, I can remember I used to train with this guy called Gary Stumbles, and we would go out on Friday. This is what we do. Friday, we get on Friday we go and train. Train our ass off after work, like really hard training. No hydration. Yeah. Straight to the pub.
Straight to the pub, yeah.
Drink 10 beers.
Yeah, that's old school.
Yeah. And then Saturday lunchtime, around 11 o'clock, find the hottest part of the day anyway. Backpack, fill it full of sand, and we used to go for a run. And you wonder why you get fucking injuries, like bad knees, whatever you get. You wonder why, but and that was what we used to do.
Yeah,
like back in those days, we were young, so you sort of get away with it. Like, but still, that old school system. So, I think what people like you are trying to do is you're trying to bring back some intelligence, some thought process based on science.
Yeah,
you're not just making shit up.
Yeah,
it's based on science.